Welcome to the True Talk Podcast. Here's your host, Jenna.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of True Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jenna. And this week, I have a really fun guest. It is the one and only Thalia Falcon. So, like I always do with my guests, I will put their socials and handles and all that in the show notes in the description. So definitely go give her a follow, check out her page. Guys, Thalia is an incredibly gifted and talented artist, singer, dancer, like all of that combined. She is like a reincarnated Aaliyah, but she's Thalia. Like she is making a name for herself. You like that, didn't you? You like that?
I love
I know,
her.
but like
and everything.
I know you're literally that R&B reincarnated Thalia. But guys, you might be like, Jenna, how do you know Thalia? Like you're not really R&B. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm more like Greek and country. But believe it or not, Thalia is half Greek, half Cuban. So I've actually known Thalia through the Greek community. You know, we're all everywhere and it's a huge.
I'm pretty sure I know you from Goya also, but we didn't talk back then. Like I just recognized you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure we played against each other. St. Nick's,
sure.
golden green, green and gold all the way. But so Thalia and I haven't really spoken much in person. We talked a couple of times in person, but the reason why I really am excited to have Thalia on the podcast is she is just such an incredible role model for girls, following her dreams, pushing herself, doing whatever it's going to take to get to what it is that she really wants and is good at in an industry that's really competitive and difficult. It's not easy and it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and self-belief. So I love how much Thalia stays true to herself and so authentic and just an incredible role model for people all over. I mean, you've got fans all around the world, so that's insanely cool.
I mean, to have them because obviously wouldn't be able to do it without them, but it's taken time to grow, obviously, so I'm still grateful for everybody that gives me the time of day and cares.
Absolutely. And like it's so cool for me, we're both from Greek churches and it's like seeing you grow to this star and I'm on an entrepreneurial journey as well, and it's just so cool to be able to connect after so many years of like growing up with similar childhood. So Thalia,
exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It is such an honor.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Can you give us a little background of how little Miss Thalia came to be the rising star that you are?
Actual R&B artist from the DMV, from Virginia. I am Greek and Cuban, which obviously plays a huge role in who I am as a person and as an artist. I'm sure, as you know, you're Greek too. Like being Greek is just different. Like it is in our blood, in our soul. Everything we do has passion, obviously carries over to everything that I do as well. I'm a very family oriented person. I would rather spend time with my family than my friends. Like I'm that girl that would rather hang out with her parents Saturday night, chilling, watching a movie,
I love it.
than be out and about. So so with that being said, like my dad actually, my whole family is very musically oriented except my mom. But like I have music on my mom's side of the family as well.
Okay.
My papu, my great grandfather, was a well-known bouzouki player, mandolin player in Greece. So I have music on every side of the family. I grew up around music, and then my dad is actually a Latin artist. So that is how I honestly got into it. Imagine Pitbull. That's my dad. I mean, he looks like Pitbull too. He's bald and everything,
That's
he sings salsa. He does Latin percussion. So growing up, music was just always around the house. And I mean every genre. Like I would be listening to My dad would wake us up to Andrea Bocelli in the morning instead of setting an alarm for us. So it would be
I
like,
love it.
like opera, like waking me up for school. So
I love it.
yeah, I mean, I would go to his gigs with him. I would be banging on the bongos at home at the age of 3, like sitting on his lap. Like I had a microphone in my hand at the age of 2. There's videos of all this stuff. So it's cool to look back on because little did I know and little did my dad know that I'd be following the exact same path as him. And I'm not going to lie, like I didn't really realize that it could be possible to go after something different or to like dream of something different. Of course, we all have dreams when we're growing up, being like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a firefighter. But
Yeah.
I always wanted to be this. And I went to college at Loyola University, Maryland in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I graduated from. And I studied public relations, not really thinking that I would end up pursuing this career because my family, my parents, they had me at a pretty young age at 21. And so they wanted me to kind of do things the right way. You know, you go to college, you get married, you have kids,
Yeah.
like the whole which I obviously want one day, but it can be hard coming from parents that, you know, they want to give you the world and they want you to do things the right way, especially when they didn't do it, I guess, the right way, if that makes sense.
They want to give you the life that they didn't have growing up.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to come from the family that I did because they're very supportive. And also, I forgot to mention, my dad was actually signed to a Latin label back in the day.
Wow.
And then he found my mom was pregnant, you know, so then he kind of had to choose between his career or being a father.
Right.
And they wanted him to move to New York City and everything. And he was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna, I guess, say goodbye and that'll be it. So, like I said,
sacrifice.
yeah, he really sacrificed his career in order to raise me, and I'm beyond grateful for that. And it's crazy to look back on it now and seeing that picking up
where he left off.
Exactly, picking up where he left off. So it's a beautiful thing, and I haven't really made it yet, but when that time comes, it's gonna be, you know, feel even more fulfilling.
Yeah,
and
it's
everything
gonna
like that.
feel that much better for sure.
And basically, after I graduated college, I linked up with my team. They discovered me through my YouTube covers and some other work that I did in college. And they decided to, you know, collaborate with me and produce my songs and kind of be mentors for me, which I'm very blessed to have them because I wouldn't have the music without them. I wouldn't have the guidance or, you know, I wouldn't really probably know what I'm doing.
Are you still with the same team? That's
and they're actually based out
incredible.
of Baltimore. So I record in Baltimore. I do everything in Baltimore pretty much. So yeah, they've really been the support system for me because they're in the industry, they understand like what it takes and they understand how it can be hard to trust people. So it's nice to have, you know, that inside perspective where they can, you know, be honest with me and just, you know, give me that constructive criticism. It's really hard to find people that actually genuinely care about you and your well-being. So I'm very lucky to have them. So yeah, then COVID hit and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't go out there, can't take pictures, can't grow my brand. I was being a little Miss Drama Queen, like a lot of us were, because we were like, the world's shutting down. How are we going to function?
Yeah.
And it was definitely very difficult at first, but this was a blessing in disguise because I wouldn't have grown my brand without that happening.
Yeah.
So you know, I took the time to really grow that build that foundation, and I would go live with my fans on Instagram and chat with them. I made a Discord that's still alive to this day. More people are joining every day, and it really is about the journey, as cheesy as it sounds. You know, this stuff does not happen overnight. I've been at it since I was a little kid, but I didn't even know it yet. You know, all the work that I've been putting. And yeah, so all this time's kind of passed by, a couple years now. I've been releasing music on all platforms, and it's been cool to see all the different clusters of people that have gotten from each song.
Yeah.
Because I've been influenced by so many genres of music, like I said, because of my dad. He'd play everything, Latin music. My mom would be playing Greek music.
Right.
I'd be listening to art or pop and really everything, even classical music. And I feel like it's contributed to the artist that I am today because I'm down to do everything. I'm down to try any type of song, any type of vibe. Like I'm just open-minded when it comes to that. So you can definitely hear that in my music today.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. It is, well, I forgot to mention, this is a big detail. In 2017, I lost my uncle. He actually took his own life. And that was probably the most difficult thing that I've ever been through. A lot of us didn't. We saw it coming kind of, but it was a very, yeah, it's easy to talk about now, but back even a couple years ago, I could barely speak about this, but I don't want it to sound selfish, but I kind of dealt with some mental things because of that happening.
Yeah.
You question your faith, you're just angry, you
You
question
go
what the
through
point of life.
those stages of grief, and
Yeah.
I've talked about on the podcast before with the combination of what I went through with my health journey. And then, I think it was a combination of what I was going through, the unknown and everything, but also the medications that they had me on. I went through that period of a depression, and I almost attempted suicide twice. And
Wow.
so that I feel that because there was a lot of self reflection that I did afterwards. And I was like, I can't even imagine what that would do to my family and friends to leave them here afterwards, Yeah.
And it was it was definitely still a shock, even though he was in and out of mental facilities and everything in Maryland, all these medications that, mixing a whole concoction of medications that pushed him over the edge. They basically did that to him. So, yeah. So then the day he got let out of the mental hospital, over.
I am
Just right there.
so sorry. I am
It's
so,
okay.
so sorry. First of all,
I
thank
mean,
you for even sharing that,
oh, of
because
course, it's a very
that
taboo thing to talk about when this
it
happens all the time.
yeah, like especially in the Greek culture. I've spoken about it with girl Nicoletta on here.
Oh yeah, I met her
Yeah,
one time.
a lot in the Greek culture is hush hush, don't talk about it. What's everyone else going to say? Like whatever happens inside the home stays in the home. And I don't agree with that. There's people that need help. There's people that need to talk about these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough, and you are just so much stronger from going through that, from going through every stage of dealing with that, from the sadness to anger to grief to, just all the stages of grieving.
And then I have people telling me, oh, you should use that for motivation. And it's like, I'm here struggling, And a part of me does. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't end there. It doesn't end there, by the way. Years later, probably 4 years later, my yaya gets diagnosed, his mom gets diagnosed with cancer. And then she passed away, 3 years ago, almost in a couple weeks. It'll be 3 years. So
Wow.
it's, she had to carry that grief.
Yeah.
And, that made her sick. And then she ended up passing away. Then right after that, my papu passed away. So now it's almost like the way that I deal with grief is like I joke about it because there's nothing, that's my coping mechanism.
Right.
So I was like attending funeral after funeral after funeral. I'm like, we're back again, like saying, hey, like, what's up, homie, to the funeral people? Like,
yeah, like we're frequent flyers here.
yeah. So that was just a lot to deal with. And like also for my yaya passing away, she was my number one fan, by the way. And she was young too, 63, 65.
Yeah.
And my uncle was only 35 or 34. So, and he had a little daughter too, who's, still, she's probably 13 now, his daughter. So there's just a lot going on. And I was still trying to basically, not chase, but I was trying to go after my career.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to still build my brand throughout all of this. I was still having rehearsals and music because that's how I thought I would heal. And it did help me, but I never had time to grieve, if that makes sense. Like I never gave myself a second to.
You know what? It's so funny you say that. Not funny, haha,
Yeah.
but like it's so true that you say that, because I've said that before, and that's something that I've realized throughout self-reflection is everything happens so fast for me, with being told this is either the onset of MS or the result of a mini stroke. And then from then on, it was like, all right, what doctor do we need to see? What test? What's next? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I was kind of like not judging, but being hard on myself that did I not give myself the time that I needed to process. But then at the same token, it's also like, I'm kind of glad that I didn't have that time to really, fester in with those thoughts and just like sit with that, because that's dangerous too. You know what I mean? So it's like a catch 22 almost.
Exactly. It's funny because I will trauma dump on my tables that I serve at the restaurant, and I will be deboning a branzino because I work at a Greek restaurant. And I'll be like, yeah, yeah, she used to make the best branzinos, but she passed away back like 3 years ago. They're like, okay. No, but they're actually nice about it. They're nice.
You're pulling the bones out.
Yeah, she
got,
used to make the best branzino. But
got
yeah,
an
so I
image
mean,
of
I would
that.
even like
I'm dead.
catch myself crying. Like I would cry in random places, like cry in the shower, cry in the bathroom at work, because people would talk about, something.
It's
grief.
hard. Yeah.
Grief is very tricky, and also a beautiful thing though, because it's the love that you have for that person.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I've tried to shift my mind a little bit.
Good.
So throughout all that, I ended up going to therapy and trying that out, which was really good. I don't want to say that the therapist wasn't. She was good. She was good. It's just at the end of the day, it's still good to just like say certain words out loud and sentences out and just let it out.
Right.
So that's kind of how it was for me. I wasn't super connected to this therapist, but just saying these things out loud made a difference.
Well, I mean, like we keep saying, everything's a journey, and you gotta take the good with the bad, and everything in life happens for a reason. That's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. And, it's just all these things that have happened have only made us stronger along the way.
For sure.
I feel like if anything, this has given you more of a drive to reach your highest potential and your biggest dreams and biggest goals, to be at the award ceremony accepting your Grammy, your all that, because it's gonna happen, speak into existence. Like, I'm huge about that.
For sure.
But amazing just confirmation. Amazing just where you've come from and your journey along the way and where you're at now. Do you know off the top of your head how many singles you have?
I believe it is in the 20s. I think 23 or 22.
That's incredible.
Okay, let's count. Let's count real quick. 21.
That's incredible. 21 singles. And
Yes, 21.
That's crazy to me. And you've done music videos. Those are sick, by the way. Like, I love the music videos. They are so good.
A lot of them I've actually shot in Baltimore because that's where my team is. So
have you really?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Shout out to Be More.
But yeah, let me add in something else too. Grief definitely affected not only my mental health, but my physical health as well. I noticed that my gut was not very good. I was having anxiety, slight depression, and just not knowing how to communicate my feelings growing up. I don't know if you went through this as well, but for me and my family never really talked about it as much. We kind of were just like, okay, we're feeling sad. All right, let's go. Move on, like pick it up, pack your bags, let's go on to the next thing. Like, we never really did that. So now, after all these years, and now that I'm in my adult life, it's crazy that I'm learning finally how to open up and be vocal about what I'm feeling and not be ashamed of feeling a certain way.
Isn't that so liberating? Like, don't you feel so free and like weight has been lifted off of you?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's one of the craziest things, because I can so relate to that. When I was going through the depression, stuff like that, I didn't say anything. But when I almost attempted, I knew I had to say something. And I was scared because I'm like, are they going to be like, oh, Jenna, stop. Like, shut up. You're just looking for attention. But they were actually, and they, me, my parents, parents, like they were actually very receptive and concerned and were willing to help me however it was that I needed help. It's definitely very freeing to know that, okay, I'm not a little kid. Like I'm valid. I'm valid for how I'm feeling and I can speak about it freely. It's weird because if you haven't experienced that from when you were younger, you don't really get it. But if you have, then you get it.
Yes. And I was saying it's nice that we have parents that support us as well,
Amen. Because otherwise, you and I would be out on the streets together, girl. We're both still at home. And, it's all good because honestly, if you ask me, we're the smart ones.
We are.
Like, we're the smart ones chilling at home. We don't have a mortgage to pay or rent to pay. Like, we're chilling.
Yeah. Comfy ass bed. Yeah, it's nice. I agree.
So I'm really curious about, I've told you about how much I love how you stay true yourself and you are authentic and building up, who you are as an artist. And that's one of the things that I see a lot when it's with upcoming artists. It's, you have to find your identity. And it's really like, even as a business owner, for me, I have to show what is it that makes me stand out from every other social media manager or every other photographer. So I'm curious for you, what is it do you think that makes you stand out from other artists?
That's a good question. For me, I feel like I'm just like y'all. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't really try to put up a front. I mean, it's been hard to navigate, trust me, because I care a lot about, or used to care a lot about what people thought about me or how I was being perceived. But like, I really am just like one of the homegirls. Like, I want to be your friend. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't really want to take the time to do that. But for me, I wouldn't be where I am without the people that support me. So like, I'm over here Snapchat calling them, or they're calling me. I'm like, hey, like on the way to work. Like, we're all just a fam. So
Yeah.
say like my vibe is definitely just like chill, carefree, like a big sister type of vibe because a lot of my fans are younger. So that's kind of how I want them to see me, just like a safe space.
Yeah, and they're feeling heard and seen. It's like a lot of people with their favorite artists, they'll, follow them. And I get it, their lives are hectic and they've got a lot going on. And it's not always easy to be so engaging with their fans because there can be so many at a time. But I agree. I think you do such a good job at making sure that your fans are being seen and being heard and being noticed by you, and they really do feel part of the family. So kudos to you, because I know that's hard to navigate, but you really do a good job at that and being able to still be a role model but still trying to become a star. But I mean, you're almost there, so like you pretty much are there if you ask me.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I mean, I cannot lie. It has been very difficult to learn how to not care what people think, to let go of perfection. I'm still working on that to this day. Like, I literally had a call with my manager yesterday about how I need to stop putting up this front and trying to seem perfect and everything. And he's like, you just need to be you. Like, stop trying to make it seem like you're trying too hard and all this stuff. Like, just be you.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you know a thing or two.
Easier said than done, because it's like you want to kind of show, your sexy side or your cute, but then some days I'm in sweats. Like, that's just real life. It's just real. So like, I need to show more of that.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to seem like I have it together all the time, because that's not even real at all.
Yeah.
Just finding like it's a whole process of finding my true self. Is it, or living in my truth and being my authentic self. It can be hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
But you just have to take a second, step aside, and be like, okay, just be me. Like, just stop.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. Just
Yeah.
you are with your closest best friend, that's how you should, be online.
Yeah.
Like whoever knows you best and whoever you feel you're best around, that's kind of the vibe that you should be giving, I guess.
Exactly. And, just like with anything else, it's not going to be a smooth sailing journey. It's not going to happen overnight, like it takes years. It takes years. It's a lifelong journey. Like, although, do I feel like I'm really living in my truth and being my authentic self finally? Yes. But I still know that I am on this journey of a lifetime of always doing personal development and improving, and same with you, same with everybody. Like,
Yeah, the job is never done. There's always something you can improve on. That's definitely how I see things as well.
exactly. You've just got to have that go-getter attitude and motivation to want to hop on the train and be like, yeah, let's get shit done, man. Like, I'm trying to make a name for myself. And I mean, it's just so cool what you're doing. Is like, I ain't gonna lie. I dabble in music a little bit, but
Really?
like I'm nowhere near as good as you. Like there's
Listen, start somewhere. I always tell people that because you never know your full potential. Like you just gotta not be scared to fail at first and like just do it,
yeah,
Who cares
exactly.
if you mess up or who cares? Like really no one cares.
I mean,
Everybody's
like,
so what they're doing with their own life. Like no one's really I need to remind myself this all the time, but no one is really focusing on you as much as you think they're focusing on you.
I literally, and for anybody who's not watching the video right now, you can't see me. I've once again thrown my head back because I literally say it all the time. Like, stop freaking worrying about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else's business is. Mind your damn business. Mind your damn business. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself. Do not worry about what anybody else is doing.
And you honestly can't get time back. Just think of that. Years
Right?
will go by. Years will go by and you'll be like, wait, I have done nothing because I've been worrying about too
Yeah.
much about other people and giving them that power. You don't want to give people that you barely know on social media that power.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
I'm speaking out of experience because
Me too. Like it's, and I think that's a big thing with girls too, though, is that we're always going to see other girls and be like, oh, but they're so much prettier. They're in better shape than I am. Or, look, like they're an influencer. I could never do that. Like, why? Why can't you? Why can't you?
Yeah.
Why? Like, if you were to say here, Thalia, you right now on this day, April 3rd, I almost said March 3rd, April 3rd, if you would have said to me, I don't think I can be the next Aaliyah accepting an award at the Grammys. Why? Why can't you?
Yeah.
Why can't you? Are you tone deaf? No. You've got 21 singles out. So like,
yeah.
2 + 2 = 4 here. I don't know what you're telling me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, makes sense.
It does. And like, just like I am, you are as well. We've got part-time jobs while we're following our dreams, right? So like, I'm a nanny part-time, or I'll pick up shifts at the diner. You work at a restaurant part-time. And it's like, yeah, we got to do what we got to do because, money's got to come in some way. We still have bills. But like, it doesn't mean we're not going to keep hustling towards our dreams and our goals. Like, nothing's gonna stop us.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been pretty liberating to have multiple jobs while I'm chasing this. Like, I'm a waitress, and then I'm also editing for a bunch of different businesses, like TikToks, Reels, everything. So it's been it's a liberating feeling being like, okay, I'm a boss babe, like I'm doing this, but it can also be overwhelming.
It can be overwhelming. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm stressed on daily, but like, I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't.
And God gave us these gifts and talents. Might as well use them,
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't want to put God's work to waste. Like, that's just rude to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that is so, so cool. So just as a little side question here, you performed at most recently, you performed at Kevin Hart's something, and
for his Mark Twain prize. He won a Mark Twain comedy prize.
uh-huh.
And that's another thing that I forgot to mention when I was just listing off my jobs. I also perform with the band on the side, like at weddings, different events, just to,
Nice.
you know. So we are the band. It's actually my manager who runs it.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with my own personal stuff, by the way. This is just a side thing.
Yeah.
We do covers, everything. Yeah, so we got the band is signed to a entertainment agency, East Coast Entertainment or East Coast. They book us at a ton of places, and we're a new group. This is like our probably 7th gig or 6th gig.
That's so cool.
And so it's amazing that we got that opportunity. And I saw a couple people. It was cool to see a couple celebrities. Nick Cannon. I was like, "How'd your kids? How'd your wife?" Because I was like, I can't. I made eye contact with him. I'm like, "Oh, pregnant." Oh, pregnant. I'm pregnant.
No, shut up.
Contact with that man, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have looked in his direction.
Oh my gosh.
All in all, it was a very cool experience. I performed back there in high school, actually. So it was kind of like a full circle.
What a full circle. Yeah, that is so cool.
It was very fun. That was like the one time that I performed where I forgot I was performing, and it was just like a fun time because I was doing a Beyonce mashup with my other singer friend in the group, and it was her first time singing with the group too. So it was a really fun experience, and like we vibed together, and it was just cool.
That is so cool. That's awesome. So did you meet Kevin Hart?
I did not meet him, unfortunately.
Was he there?
He was there, yeah. I did not meet him though.
Did you see him?
No. So I can't lie. I didn't see him, but I saw Dave Chappelle. I saw Lil Dicky. I saw Nick Cannon. Ashanti and Nelly were there.
No way.
I think I saw Tiffany Haddish. Is that her name, Haddish?
No, I freaking love her.
Yeah. I saw a couple people, but
talk about funny.
Not the man himself. I think it's because he's maybe he was,
I'm dead. Not like he'll ever hear this episode, but like if you do, Kevin, we love you.
We love you. We do love you.
We do. Like, yeah. No, but that is so cool. That's hilarious. So let me ask you, say tomorrow your wildest dreams get answered and they come true, and you're walking the red carpet and you are in stardom. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
You are? I
would say I don't think anybody's ever mentally ready because like being a celebrity is insane.
Right.
I'm kind of used to it already, but there's also types of celebrities.
Cut.
I can go out to restaurants and like everything's okay, but then there's people like Beyonce. So like I think I'll be fine. There's people that can't leave their house like Beyonce.
Are you trying to tell me that you're not Beyonce material? Because you are. Okay.
Thank you. But
I'll be your hype person every day if you need me to. If that means I can go on the road with you, I will be your hype girl.
Girl, that'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
But yeah, I definitely think I'm ready. I mean, yeah, I'm so excited I'm at least ready to go on tour. Like I just want to perform. I've never actually performed any of my songs yet. I only perform with the band.
No way. You've only ever done covers. You haven't done any of your originals.
So the day that happens, I'll be very excited. But basically where me and my team are at right now, we're just trying to grow that fan base, so that when I perform, I'll get paid well. I'll sell that bitch out. A lot of people don't realize that artists that go on tour, they're not making any money.
Right.
So they're spending their money to go on tours. So I don't have money for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, yeah. All that will come, and I appreciate everybody for being patient because they're all being like, come here, come there. And it's so cool. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to another country and perform there first. We will see.
I could definitely, with the amount of fans I see dancing to your songs in Asia, I could definitely see you going there perform first, even before the US.
Yeah, and Brazil, I have a huge following there too. So we will see. You never know.
So cool. That is so freaking cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so in order to be indicted into the True Crew family, I have to ask you one last question. Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
I am prepared.
Okay. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Flying.
Me too, girl. Me too. That was quick too. You were like
I thought
flying.
about that before, or healing people, but then everybody would be coming to me and I wouldn't have even a second to breathe, you know?
Yeah. See, that's a lot of stress on you and pressure.
And then I've thought about like mind reading, but I don't really want to know what people are thinking about me. You know, I always go back to flying because it's like I just want to see the world, and I have dreams where I'm flying. Like I have dream, I'm like, I don't know if you are like this too, but I like read my dreams. That's just like how my yaya taught me. It might be a Greek thing.
Yeah.
But we'll like read our dream. Like I would like tell her my dreams when she was still alive, and we'd like talk about it. I still dream to this day of like someone trying to kill me or hurt me or something, and I'll just start flying. And like,
Fly.
literally,
Thalia Falcon. You are a falcon.
it's true. Yep. So yeah, that's it. That's my answer. Because I want to see the world. I want to be able to fly to Greece, then fly to Cuba, then go to the to the Bahamas, then go to Tokyo
That's
or
what I'm
Australia.
saying. I'm
Hell
down.
yeah.
I'm down. I'll hop on your back.
Yes, I'll hop on.
Meanwhile, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but Talia's like literally half my height. Like I'm a monster compared to her. I'm 5'7", 5'8".
Well, that's cool.
Do you not remember when we were in person?
I mean, I do, but like, I don't remember you being super tall.
And I was in heels that night. So I was
then
even taller. You had too many vodka
I
cranberries.
didn't. I saw you right when I got there.
I know.
I'm pretty sure.
I know. Anyways, Thalia, thank you so much for being so open and talking about so many things on the podcast with me. It was really an honor, and I loved every second of it to really be able to get to know you behind your music and as a performer and an artist. It was really such a treat. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor to be on this podcast because your energy is everything and you are inspiring, so motivating, and we need more people like you in the world. I'm serious. It's like I can feel energy very well, and you are like a light. So I feel the light.
Stop. I'm gonna cry. Y'all, she's gonna make me cry. This is not nice on my own show.
You're about to make me cry when I join this. So there you go.
See, we're just too emotional.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. It's what makes us us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But like, guys, look out for the DMV girlies because we're coming to take over.
Hell yeah.
You know. But guys, I'm going to put all of Talia's socials in the show notes. Go find her music on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Check out her music videos. She's incredibly talented. And I'm telling you, I'm calling it from now. When she's up on stage accepting a Grammy, camera's going to turn to me in the crowd, and I'm going to be like, yeah, exactly. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of True Talk Podcast. Make sure you are following along for all that is to come, and we will talk soon.
Thanks for listening to the True Talk Podcast. Make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and stay tuned for more to come.